Good evening, everybody. It's time again for your Rowdies Talk Radio, the Green and Gold Gospel.
Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, I got a problem and it's complicated. Going through changes and I just can't ignore the signs. They're there now and it's so loud it hurts. Hear me growl, hear me howl when the full moon is out. Hear me growl, you see me run, you see me jump. Try to fight, but I emerge with the poison hand. You better watch out, it's gonna take more than what you got. All eyes are on me and the silence is deafening. You're so helpless against this full moon. Don't ever say I didn't warn you, because I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play, came to play, I came to play. Wow!
Hello and welcome to the Unused Substitute Show. It is great to have you all here again. It is me, your host, Ben. Dan is not with us this evening. He has got other responsibilities he has to take care of. We wish him all the best in what he's doing. He is fighting the good fight. We are sad he's not with us. However, we will carry on. We have plenty to talk about. We brought a new player. We had a new signing, and we got a win. So let's crack open the Green and Gold Gospel and let's spread a few verses. Why don't we, huh? So I know the last couple weeks we've talked about, I've talked about how I don't believe we're going to bring anybody else in. Clearly, that has been wrong as we brought in multiple players over the last couple weeks. And I'm very excited over the guy that we brought in this week, Paul Marie. He comes in from San Jose. French-born player, played at FIU for 3 years. Then got drafted in 2018 in MLS Super Draft to San Jose. Made his professional debut with Reno, I believe it was. Yep, Reno, 1868. And then from there, he has played with San Jose ever since. We have got him on loan through the end of the season. I know he comes in technically as a defender. I don't suspect that's how we're going to utilize him. I see him much more as a problem on that right and left mid, depending on the lineup and how basically just player availability and what we're trying to do. Cassiano talked about this quoted saying, I think Paul's going to give us a great lift in the final stretch of the season. Paul has tremendous quality, great experience from having played in MLS for so long. He's played a lot of games at that level, so we're really pleased to have him in here. He can play a few different positions, which is something he's really big on. So that versatility would be great to have. He's also a great guy who's going to put the team first, and he's going to do everything he can to help us win. And I would argue that he did exactly that this game. Paul was quoted saying, I'm very excited to be here. I really like the group. We've been working hard the last 2 days. I like the chemistry here. The boys are all together. It's really nice. I think we're excited to have these stretch of home games, which is definitely something we're going to talk about. We're going to try to turn things around the rest of the season. I can see that everybody is motivated to get it done. Yeah, I mean, look, again, like I always say, what is he supposed to say? These are things we expect him to say when he comes in. But I generally believe that's the message that these guys are all carrying. I mean, they're all kind of carrying the same torch. They are all fighting the same fight. They are all working in the same direction. We just have these breakdowns here and there, which just unfortunately against the wrong team, it cost you. And this game really was kind of a tale of that. So let's get into it, right? So we played Pittsburgh this week, another Bob Lilly special. And it's so funny, like I was talking to Dan before the game, and I don't know why I always forget, like how do you forget Bob Lilly? The guy is an absolute legend. He's a soccer legend. He's huge in the USL ranks. And US, soccer, I mean, Bob Lilly is a household name. We know Bob Lilly. We've got a lot of great history as far as competitions against him. And I really think this game was very much a Bob Lilly special. And it could have turned out like a lot of them do, which is either tie or loss. We just came out flat in this game, plain and simple. Like it just didn't look like we had it. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like I liked our lineup, and we had Passius, Alvarez up top. You had Bodley, Crisostomo, Hilton, Wyke, and Marie in the middle. Obviously, name your own lineup, put your own formation, however you want to do with that. More or less, a glorified 3-5-2, call 3-5-1-1. I don't care. You know the deal. It changes. It's fluid. It doesn't mean anything. And you get Guillen, Castellanos, from Van Castiel, which it seemed like Van Castiel was playing more centrally, and Castellanos is more playing on the outside. And I have to say, I mean, and I, I'm going to say I have to say, but Dan really pointed out Van Castiel had himself a pretty solid game this week. I think he not only did he have that huge stop where the player got in behind the goalkeeper, and saved it on the line. But I mean, I think as a whole, I thought he was very solid this game. Very happy with the way he played. I mean, defensively, obviously we had our struggles. When you let it go in the first 2 minutes, that's tough, and they just said it on the broadcast. They just talked about how you can't give up a goal early to this team. And then not even 30 seconds later, what do? We give up this goal inside the box, just bad cover on the overlap, cuts the ball back in the middle, and little dink pass to the top of the 6, and I mean, literally one touch to upper 90. And it was just like, shit. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't work this game. I was sitting up in the, up by the broadcast booth, guys, and one of the suites kind of watching. And I'm there with my son, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, you know what? If this is how this game is going to go, I don't know. I'm probably going to leave at halftime. There's no reason for me to stay and watch this whole thing. I'd rather go ride my bike. I don't feel like watching us lose at home. I mean, all the things that we all felt, right? I mean, it just, we couldn't maintain possession in the middle of the field. We didn't have any vision moving up and down the field. It just seemed like everywhere we went, they were shutting down every single lane. I mean, their counter press was so effective. And really our only option was to go over top, which we utilized quite a bit. You saw, Paul Marie put a few balls over top to Wubens. Either he was offsides or was played too far. I memean, but you saw that we were trying to play the ball over top because there were no clear passing lanes in this game. It was very, very tough. Bob Lilly did what Bob Lilly does best, man. I mean, he found a way to attack us on our weakness, keep us on our back foot. And really, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about this first half. I mean, Hilton did have a shot on target in the first half that caused Dick to have to make a diving save, which was a good save. It was a shot through a few defenders, but let's be honest. I mean, that was really it. We didn't do much. I mean, I don't know what the possession numbers were at half, but they had to have been very lopsided. You go into half and you're thinking to yourself, man, like, what in the world is going on? I mean, like, this team has the talent in moments, as we've seen, to cause havoc and really be dangerous. Just, man, when it doesn't work, and look, credit has to go to the other teams for breaking us down and also putting us in bad situations, right? I get that. But, man, you got to be able to play your game and still and inflict your own game plan on the other team too, right? And we've really struggled with that this year. We have not been able to really kind of push our will on teams consistently for 90 minutes, which is something, especially as a team that is desperately fighting to get into a playoff spot, is clearly still making moves to bring players in to show that they are invested in trying to make that run if they can. We needed more, right? And so that halftime comes and we're just sitting here like, and it's 1-0. We haven't done anything. I remember looking at my kid and being like, hey, man, if you want to get going, we could probably get going. And then, of course, scoreboard goes bad. And I'm like, well, hold on. Let me hang for a minute with the guy who's going to fix it. And let me help him get through that. And, then we'll head out. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, no worries. So I'm sitting there talking back and forth with Dan, and we're just kind of shooting our ideas back and forth. And we're both kind of in the same place where it's so frustrating because you look at the roster on this team, and there's enough talent on this team and the things they have shown us in moments that we're like, man, we should be better than this. Like, there's no rhyme or reason for us to be in this place still. I mean, you look at where Hartford's at right now. Hartford's up in 5th place right now with 29 points. It wasn't 5 weeks ago they were down at the bottom with us. Now, all that to say, I mean, it just goes to show if you go on a little bit of a run here, you could easily work your way up in there. I mean, I realize that we're only at 21 points and Detroit, who's in 6th, Pittsburgh, who's in 7th, and Rhode Island, who's in 4th. They're at 29, 28, 24 points. You know, are a bit ahead of us. But I mean, we see like we could get up there too if we make a little bit of a run. Now, anyways, back to the point here. So, you know, we're going at halftime. You know, Cassiano is giving them, hey, we got to fight to the end. We got to keep going. We have to show the grit and determination that we can fight and get a win. Because even as bad as we played, we could have been down 4 or 5 goals to none, and we had every reason to pack it in, but we didn't. We were fighting. It just wasn't pretty. And sometimes Bob Lilly games are not pretty, and sometimes our games are not pretty. It is what it is. But you know, he's given them the pep talk that they need to hear. And we come out in the second half, and I mean, even though we still didn't look great, it felt different, right? Like, I mean, there was a little bit different energy. Now, I gotta say to you fans, now I understand it's been a tough, long season for all of us. I know, but this game is exactly what Dan and I have been talking about, how it is so important for you guys to show up and show out for this team. I mean, post game, we'll talk about some of the quotes. I mean, every single player and coach was like, how important it was to feel that energy after that first goal and just how it changed the entire dynamic. I mean, me sitting up in the stands, I mean, obviously it's a bit muffled up there, but I mean, you could feel the energy up in that booth, man. I mean, it was electric. So let's get into what happens here. So again, halftime goes, things feel a little bit different, but Bob Lilly team is they are still playing like they have the upper hand. And understandably so, they had been the better team up to this point. So you've got Crisostomo comes off, Moon comes on in the 6th. You've got Arteaga that came on in the 46th at halftime, which, look, got to give props to Manu, man. You guys know I love Manu. I think Dan has been the one who's been the most outspoken about how he cannot be a striker. He cannot be a guy that we go through for goals, but he can be a distribution guy. I think he proved that here. And the expectation that we didn't need him to be that guy, but we needed him to be available to move the ball around, to be a guy to set things up. I actually thought he did really well. And his movement looked better. In past games, it looked like he had been laboring as he plays. I didn't feel that. I mean, I really felt like Manu had a pretty solid game here. I mean, beyond the assist, I mean, it was a pretty decent game. But anyway, so Bodley comes off in the 61st. Skinner comes on, which I don't know what's going on with that. I want Bodley out there too. I love what he offers us, but I'm going to trust the process. Cassiano has a plan. There's a reason why he does it. I'm just a guy who sits here and talks soccer. Okay. If the subs are happening, he has a plan for it, so I'm going to trust it. But anyway, so we make these couple subs here. And instantly there was a change. The air shifted. I don't know what it was, but you could just feel the energy. I mean, the subs had instant impacts. And so we get a corner kick. And by the way, Barry's corner kicks, I thought for the most part, were very good, very dangerous. I thought he covered a lot of field. I thought he offered a lot, considering he had 2 training sessions prior to playing this game. I know John and I kind of talked, and John had written on one of the posts, commented on one of the things that I commented on, and he was like, I didn't think he was very good, or I wasn't even think he was very good. He thought he was more of a liability because he didn't get back on defense. I don't know that. I think part of it's also what he was asked to do. Could be wrong. I still got to talk to Cassiano about it. But I'm pretty sure he asked him to play up and play high, to push that back line. I think it's the way that he was asked to play in this game. I don't think it's the defensively, which obviously you have to play defense. I get that. And I'm not saying he was perfect. He wasn't. But I think as a net whole, I think he was absolutely phenomenal and one of the better players in the field tonight. And it wasn't even, I don't even think it's a question. I think it was clear that he was one of the better players in the field tonight. We can agree to disagree on that part, and that's fine. But I think how he was utilized tonight, I think it showed off his strengths. And even something Dominic talked about at the end of the game is that, I mean, he had to play like 3 different positions tonight. It was just kind of what happened. He puts in this beautiful ball, and Skinner goes up and just, I mean, like a man amongst boys, just gets up for this goal. Very reminiscent of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Juventus uniform, going up and just way above everyone and just puts a beautiful ball in. The keeper barely gets his hand to it. goes off the post, and then who else but Lewis Hilton right under, goes off his knee and goes in. I mean, he doesn't even have a chance to react. I mean, even he says post game, he's like, I didn't know, I knew nothing about it. I had no way to react. There was nothing I could do. His exact words were, Coach Shum asked us to play the players to show character and heart. Although the performance definitely wasn't perfect, we definitely showed that going a goal down and then coming back, just finding a way to win at this time of the season and with our position in the table, that's all that matters. Well, he was in the right place. He was in the right spot. I mean, he definitely did what we needed him to do. It was a very Lewis Hilton game, which I was very happy to see from him. But he's just Johnny on the spot, and the ball goes in, and Skinner just makes a beeline for our side of the field straight to the mob. And just the whole place exploded. I mean, as you'd expect, right? Like, we want a goal. We want to win. We want someone to cheer about. We finally have something to cheer about. We all scream in energy. This comes to my earlier point, man. We so badly, again, I know it's tough as fans to keep that energy when things don't look great, but we have an opportunity to carry this team all the way into the playoffs. And who knows, man? I mean, anything's possible. This team feeds off of our energy. And you guys know this as well as I do. When Al Lang's rocking, there is no better feeling. The buzz in that place is just electric. And hence the electrostatic uniforms, I think it all worked together. But anyways, yeah, so Skinner makes a run back. The mob lights up. The whole crowd lights up. The whole stadium lit up. Everybody was feeling amazing at that moment. And God, it was just, it was so much fun. Which point, I'm sitting up in the box and I'm looking at my son. I'm like, I don't think we can go now. And he's like, yeah, I don't think we can either. So, I mean, we're fully invested again. We're fully back into this thing. And really, from that point forward, it very much felt like we had the upper hand. And immediately Pittsburgh was on their heels. Now, that's not to say they didn't still have chances. This is a Bob Lilly team. They're very well coached. They will create opportunities, and they create a few, especially in the last dying 5-10 minutes, which could have easily tied up this game. But I very much feel like we were the team that was, that was the problem. So anyway, we make a few more substitutions. We get, as a car comes on for Moon. I saw Moon after the game. He had ice taped to the back of his leg. I'm guessing it's another pulled hammy, which sucks because I think he's been really good. But again, just one of those things, man. It's tough. So anyway, he ends up coming off. Sharp comes on for Hilton in the 74th. And that's our team, man. That's who we got out there. And the guys were fighting. I felt like our position was better. There was an extra step in the players. I thought defensively we were doing a better job at shutting people down. I thought we were shifting the field back and forth a lot smoother. I think players were finding better openings. It seemed like as a whole, the energy, the vibe, everything was good. And it felt like something more was coming. And sure enough, here we go in the 76th minute. There's that cross that comes in, another great one from Marie. It goes to the far end of the field, gets put back in again, cleared out. Manu's the first one. Johnny on the spot, gets the ball, turns 2 touches, and just put a beautiful ball in that lands right to Passius in the chest between the 18 and the 6, where he touches it perfectly. I mean, he could not have settled that ball any better and chested to his lead foot, and left foot buries it right under Dick, which the famous broadcast line, he beats Dick, which I don't care how old you are. I love that line. I want that to be the rallying call. I want to see it on the shirt. I don't care who has to make that happen. I want it on a shirt. I want to see that at the next game. I want to see it on a 2-pole. I don't care how you do it. I want to see it happen. I just let that be the rallying call for the season. And good on the broadcast guys. They did a great job tonight as always. But yeah, I mean, Lubens puts that ball in. It's a great shot. It was very great pace. Buries it just underneath Dick. You saw the whole team. You knew, you're like, we could keep going. We could do this again. We could do this again. We can keep going. I mean, the whole place, again, it just electric. It's vibing. They're singing. There's chanting. The people are standing. It felt amazing. I mean, the bench was lit up. All the guys behind that were warm, that either played or, were subs, were all there, all jumping up and down. I mean, even the midfield people, which usually, I mean, I have my own gripe with the midfield stands. Even midfield was just, they were up and cheering and having a good time. It's what we've been asking of this team for so long, is just to have attitude, have fight, and keep pushing, right? I mean, like, we need this team to show that it matters as much to them as it does to us. And look, this is a ton of resilience against a tough team. I mean, I don't, I don't care where Pittsburgh is in the standings at any given time. They could be top or bottom of the standings. I mean, anytime you got Bob Lee as a head coach, you got an opportunity, right? Like, you've got a chance. And there was every reason to believe that Pittsburgh could do something in this game. And, credit to the guys. I mean, we kept pushing. And thankfully, we were able to get all the way to the end of this game and win it out 2-1. And, I mean, it was a huge win. I mean, it was a huge win. I mean, again, I was sitting there at halftime and I was ready to leave. I think Dan was ready to turn the game off. It was a good reminder that sometimes we have to just kind of get out of our way and remember what we're here for, and to keep pushing this team, and that there's always a chance. Because, I mean, don't look at it now. We're sitting in 10th place. Now, look, I get that maybe won't mean much. I mean, I know but I mean, look, we're in 10th place. We've got Birmingham and Miami both behind us. We're sitting at 21 points. We've only played 21 games. Both Birmingham and Miami have played 22, so they are solidly behind us. And a lot of the teams ahead of us have played 22 games. I mean, Andy's at 21; they're at 23 points. But we could jump them. We've got a chance there. They have been dropping points, so we've got an opportunity to move up. Rhode Island, they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde, but look, they're not playing great either. They're only at 24 points. There's every reason to believe they play 22 games. It's every reason to think that we can catch them. I mean, we win our next game, all things even with Rhode Island, and we're tied, and we're in a playoff spot. We could be in a playoff spot by next weekend. I mean, it's that simple. And you think about how this season has gone and just how all over the place we felt. I mean, and I get it. The top 8 all get in. That's kind of wild. It's a very U.S. soccer playoff format, but whatever. I don't care. I mean, we've talked about it for years. I mean, Matt, Steven, Dan, all these guys have talked about it. You just got to get yourself in the mix and give yourself a chance. We've talked about it on the show all year long. You just got to give yourself a chance. And I mean, look, if we can keep playing and keep fighting till the very last whistle and giving ourselves a shot, I mean, there's every reason to believe that we can be there too. I mean, this game is a great example of that. Now, would you believe me if I told you that possession numbers showed us, even though we really only, I would say, we only really dominated like 25 minutes of this game, we got 54% of the possession. Like, I didn't realize that until I looked at it today, and I was just like, is that true? Like, that can't be true. Like, that's got to be a mistake. But no, we had 54% of the possession, 6 shots on target, 9 shots total. I mean, 454 passes. We're moving the ball. Passing accuracy was 77%. Not great. You want to be in the low 80s, mid 80s. I think that's probably the average where you want to be. But 454 passes tells me that we were moving the ball around a lot. And when you're maintaining 54% of the possession, it means you're getting purposeful possession, moving up and down and back and forth across the field, which obviously that's a big, call to Lewis Hilton, but I think the team as a whole, I think, did a really good job there. And yeah, man, so we beat Pittsburgh, we beat Bob Lilly at home, and look, I mean, we gave ourselves a chance. That's all we've been asking for. I really hope, as fans, that we can show up next week. One, because this is kind of a big game. It's Neil Collins coming back. So, I mean, we got Sacramento coming back this coming up weekend. It's going to be the return of Neil Collins. Sacramento is a decent team. Like, they're no slouch. They're going to be bringing it. They're second right now in the West. They're sitting on 9 wins, 7 draws, 5 losses. So not bad for his first full season with the team. There are 34 points, which is, nothing, that's definitely no slouch. It's going to be a good game. I mean, I'm glad that we have him at home, but I think as fans, we want to say thank you to Neil Collins, but we need to make sure that we show up for our team and that we really push them beyond, because Sacramento's going to definitely come in. And Neil's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He's going to want to prove, he's going to show love to this team, but he is going to prove why he is as good as he is and what he can do with his team. So it's going to be a tough game, man. I mean, I'm excited to see Neil again. It's been too long. Sorry, I'm getting a little hoarse. End of the day, man, I just get tired. It's been a long day. A lot going on with work. Yeah. So, well, let's look at some of the notes from the game. So Dom had a couple quotes here I'd like to read off to y'all. Post game, he talks about goal and set pieces. He said, "I think you need moments like that to lift you sometimes when things are not quite going your way. I want to give a big shout out to the staff, Alejandro Fernandez, assistant coach Stuart Dobson. Those guys are working really hard on set pieces, along with assistant coach Steve Coleman and the new assistant coach, John Pascarella, coming into the staff, and Jan Ekram, all great assets as well. These guys are working really hard to make sure that we're performing at our best level. I think we've seen an increase in play from our set pieces. And like he said, it's great to see all the hard work is paying off, and long may it continue." His thoughts in the game said, "We speak a lot about being resilient. Things are not always going to go your way. Going down in the first 2 minutes of a game wasn't part of the game plan. I thought the response in the second half was fantastic. Credit to the guys. They've been superb since the day I got here. If we keep trying to get better every day, like we did tonight, from that first half to the second half, we're going to be just fine." I tend to agree. I mean, we certainly can't keep giving away cheap goals like that early on in games and expecting to win. But if we can keep fighting and showing up for this team, anything can happen. Wubin's post game, he says, "I'm happy with the way Sorry, let me try it again. I'm happy that we were able to give the fans a result tonight, because they are always here for us in the bad moments and the good moments. When it was 1-1 and we needed that goal, they were there to cheer for us." Which, yeah, told you, man. The players feed off that energy. Hilton post-game, Coach Tom asked his players to show character and heart. Although the performance definitely wasn't perfect, we definitely showed that going a goal down and then coming back, just finding a way to win at this time of the season and with our position in the table, that's all that matters. Yeah. I mean, pretty much, right? I mean, look, let's take a step back here. I mean, we've got 9 games left in the season. I think of those 9 games, we have, I want to say we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 home games. All right. Look, if there was ever a schedule set to benefit us, this would be it. I mean, at this point, every team we're going to play is going to be better than us. For the most part, they're all going to be seated higher than us. But man, to have that home field advantage for 6 of those 9 games, I mean, I know that it's not probable, but if we can pull off, I say 5 out of 6 wins at home and tie and possibly win those away games, or at least tie, win it, and a loss away, I got to feel like that puts us very safely in the playoffs picture. I know we got to get through some tough teams. Again, we've got Sacramento this weekend. After that, we've got Colorado Springs, Birmingham, North Carolina, Loudoun, Monterey Bay, Rhode Island, Hartford, and Detroit City. That's not going to be easy, but we get a lot of these teams at home. And I really do feel like if we can stay healthy, anything's possible, man. And I would much rather go into the end of the season having a fighting chance and believing that we could get there than just be mathematically out of this thing already. And I don't know about you, but aside from just the winning, I love to see my friends. I love to see the staff. I love to see everything the guys are putting in. It's a chance to get away from all the other stuff that's going on and just enjoy, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours in some cases with our friends and hopefully watch a win. And I like to think that if we can show up and show out those 6 games, we can not only, it will definitely help the team get there for sure. But at the same time, it'll, it makes the time even more exciting. I mean, who knows, man? I mean, maybe these things start clicking these last, 6, 7, 8, 9 games and something just hits. I mean, Colorado Springs made a run like that. Orange County's made a run like that. I mean, some of these teams that have won have just gone on absolute tears and got hot in the playoffs. I mean, this would not, and I'm not saying that we will be them or that we will be one of those teams, but we could. it's not uncommon for a lower seeded team to run their way all the way through, run through the gauntlet, playing all away games and make it to the final and win the damn thing. I get that that feels like a million miles away, and that, yeah, let's qualify for the playoffs first. All things true. I hear you, and I agree. But why not dream big, man? Like, why not dream big and say to yourself, I mean, why can't we think big? Why can't we sit here and say to ourselves, yeah, man, we could do this? I mean, you limit your ability to do things by your belief. And look, I get that the game is more than belief. I get that there's a lot that goes into that. I get it. It's not all the foo-foo-y, woo-woo-y thing. I get it. Okay. But I would much rather be excited and believe in this team and show up and be loud and be rowdy and try to push this team to get there because, I mean, look, anything's possible. I mean, this game is a perfect example of that. I mean, this team responded. They fought back. They did everything we asked them to do, like everything we've been asked to do for weeks. I mean, Christ, man. I mean, 4 or 5 months ago, we were just begging for a couple more shots on target. We were saying, hey, just shoot from outside the 18. Do something. You know what I mean? Like, it just, we've come a long way, and we still have a long way to go. But I just, I feel good. I feel good about this team. Again, a Bobby Lee team is a tough team to win against, and I don't care where they are in the standings. It is always a tough win to get. And to get that win, it's got to say something to you and the staff and to the players and his fans. Look, we get the opportunity to do it again this weekend. I'll be there. I'll be working, but I'll be there. I mean, I would be there regardless because I love this team. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I mean, again, we get to see Neil Collins. That's gonna be cool. That'll be fun. But man, once that whistle blows, F that guy. I want to win, and I want this team to believe that they can win. And I don't care what their record is. I don't care what they've done out west. I don't give a shit. This is our house. This is our home. Yeah, Neil played a part in building that, but you know what? He moved on. And now Dominic Cassiato and that staff and these players, these are our guys. And that's who we support. And I'm excited for them to get the chance to keep doing it again next weekend. And I hope you guys are too. So yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. Like I said, I mean, we've got a lot of things happening right now. We keep bringing in players. Look, I don't think we're bringing anyone else. I mean, if you want to bring in somebody else, cool. I can't imagine we bring in anybody else. Kudos to the front office and to the staff for bringing in Paul. I think he is going to be an absolute stud, especially as he gets more integrated into what Coach Dom is going to ask him to do, and other players get familiar with his play and what he's capable of. I think he showed us quite a bit of that this game. I think he's going to offer us some things. I think Woobens is going to benefit from him as well. There was definitely a connection between those two guys that I like. Woobens seems to be a little bit rejuvenated. I think we saw a little more out of him this week. I was really happy to see that. I don't know, guys. I know this is kind of a short one. I mean, we're only at 37 minutes, and I probably burned about 2 or 3 just staring off into the distance, looking things up, because what are you going to do? But hey, man, when you got a one-man show, anything happens. And I ain't got a lot else. And there ain't a whole lot more to say other than I want to do it again next week, man. I'm going to be there, and I hope you guys will be there too. And yeah, we'll keep this thing cooking. We'll keep this thing rocking. And hopefully Dan will be back with us next week. And we're talking about another win against Rowdy's legend and one of our own, Neil Collins. And yeah, keep moving along, man. So on that note, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Please give us your thoughts and ideas and things. John, I know you're already probably bubbling, ready to say something. I'll be waiting. And to the rest of y'all, don't make John the only one talking. Y'all talk too. I want to hear from you guys. I'm sure I'm missing plenty. I'm sure I just glazed over a ton of things. You're like, how could you do this whole show and not mention this? You're right. I probably did. But that's where we're at today. And when you got me, you're going to get any number of shows. Tonight was this one. All right. So look, I love you guys. Keep your comments coming. Keep your stuff coming to us. I mean, like I say every single week, I love hearing from the fans. I love hearing from you guys. Good, bad, ugly, any of it. Give it, just drop it in the comments of the show, whether on YouTube or on the page. You can DM me directly on my Facebook or Insta. Same thing with Dan. If you message the unused subs pod page, we cannot respond to those. So still trying to come up with ideas for what to do with that next year. But for now, your best bet is just to comment on the YouTube page or comment on the Instagram stories or any of that stuff. Dan and I monitor that stuff all the time. And again, we love hearing from you guys. Okay. So next week, let's get rowdy. Let's hope we got good weather. And come on, you rowdies.
soccer is a sight to behold. You'll swear there'll be devils with magical toes. You'll laugh, you'll cheer, you'll leap from your seat when they kick with their head instead of their feet. The rowdies run here, the rowdies run there, they kick the ball around. The rowdies run here, the rowdies run there, and then they fall on the ground. Oh, the rowdies, the rowdies, the rowdies are kicking the grass. When the Tampa Bay Rowdies take the field, there's a roar. The fans